What's up, fellow bike nerds? Welcome back to the Weekly Rewind presented by 99 Spokes, where we catch you up on all the hottest cycling news from the previous week. This time around, we've got a new rider-owned footwear company, yet another drivetrain release, and a whole lot more. But the biggest news this week, pun absolutely intended, is the launch of the first ever production 32-inch mountain bike. DirtySixer has been making 32 and even 36-inch bikes for years, but up until now have stuck with hybrid and gravel bikes. Their latest bike, however, is a very trail-worthy aluminum hardtail with 140 millimeters of travel up front. Given the fact that, at least to my knowledge, there aren't any conventional suspension forks designed to fit a 32-inch wheel, DirtySixer went ahead and spec'd this guy with an inverted design from a Ren. Geometry info is at this point still a bit sparse, but what I can tell you is that the bike's going to be available in 3 sizes. And no, it's not small, medium, and large. It's extra large, double XL, and triple XL. And according to DirtySixer, that'll fit riders from 5'10" all the way up to 6'11". Now, if I'm being completely honest, I do have a little bit of trouble wrapping my head around why we can't just build bigger frames around the already well-established world of 29-inch wheels to fit larger riders. But unsurprisingly, DirtySixer has an answer to this. They say that by scaling up wheel size along with the frame, they're able to build bikes that proportionally fit taller riders and still maintain similar geometry to what you or I would ride. They also point out the lower angle of attack and larger contact point from the bigger wheel, both of which should improve handling as well. And it seems that DirtySixer aren't the only crazy ones with this idea. Just a few months ago, Maxxis started testing a 32-inch version of their Aspen cross-country tire, and Trek has reportedly been experimenting with big boy wheels for over a decade. If this sounds like something that you too are interested in trying out, then you can go ahead and pre-order this 32-inch mountain bike for $100. That'll get you 30% off the admittedly quite steep price of $6,499 when these things are expected to be available later this year. While we're on the subject of big wheels, we might as well talk about the all-new ARI 801, a dirt jumper designed from the ground up for optimization with 27.5-inch wheels. It features a boost through axle, gyro mounts, derailleur compatibility, and more relaxed geometry than its 26-inch sibling. According to ARI, the larger 27.5-inch wheels better mimic the handling of a typical trail bike, which will make transitioning between your trail or enduro bike and your dirt jumper that much easier. Now, for the diehards out there, don't worry, ARI is making the 801 as a 26-inch version, which again uses a completely separate frame. The smaller wheel frame also has slightly sportier geometry. You can think of this second one as a true dirt jumper's dirt jumper, and the 27.5-inch variant as more of a bike for people who are more interested in spending time on their trail and enduro bikes, but want a dirt jumper to hone skills when they can't get to the trails. Personally, I think this is a pretty awesome idea. I'd love to try out a 27.5-inch dirt jumper and see how it compares to my current 26-inch bike. The 801 is available in a few different build options, starting at $1,199 for the 26-inch version and $1,499 for the 27.5. There's also frame sets available for each at $549 and $579 respectively. Our next product highlight comes from boutique Spanish bike builder Unno, who just launched an updated version of the Horn, a 110mm full suspension cross-country rig. One of the biggest changes is the move from Unno's typical dual-link suspension setup to a flex-stay design with the shock neatly tucked under the top tube. This, I'm sure, has played a huge role in keeping the weight figures as low as they are. The highest-end complete bike with a dropper post comes in at just 21.2 pounds or 9.6 kilograms. Like I mentioned, the Horn has 110 millimeters of travel in the rear and has a 66-degree head tube angle when paired with a 110mm fork, though Unno says the bike is designed to accommodate a 120mm fork as well. One of my favorite things about the Horn, though, definitely has to be the checkerboard carbon weave on the higher tier bikes, which, according to Unno, is a special blend of high strength and high modulus carbon fiber. Other features include 2.6-inch tire clearance, UDH compatibility, and Unno's one-piece bar stem combo on all builds. The Horn is available in 4 complete bikes plus a frame set option with a Fox Float SL factory shock. Prices start at €7,095 for complete bikes, and the frame set lists for €3,195. Last week was a big one for drivetrain launches, but it seems like the fun isn't over just yet because TRP, with the help of Classified, just released their latest road and gravel gruppo. The Vistar PowerShift is available as either a 1x15 gravel or 1x16 road version, both of which claim to offer a wider gear range than anything else on the market. This is done by combining TRP's existing 12-speed cassette with Classified's PowerShift hub that integrates a 2-speed gear system, a 1:1 and a 0.7 ratio, into the rear hub body. This provides a gear range of a whopping 530% when paired with an 11 to 40 tooth cassette. For reference, the current kind of benchmark for road and gravel group sets is SRAM's 13-speed Red Explorer drivetrain, which has a gear range of just 460%. Now, I know I already said that the Vistar PowerShift is either a 15 or 16 speed drivetrain, but they're actually both 2x12. And you can actually set up the wireless shift levers to manipulate the derailleur and PowerShift hub separately, like a traditional front derailleur setup. But what's even cooler, in my opinion, is the quantum shift technology that allows you to seamlessly shift through 15 or 16 individually sequenced gears. In order to pull this off, the hub and the derailleur work simultaneously to deliver consistent gearing changes throughout the entire range. And all you have to worry about is shifting up and down the 1x lever. TRP says that this gives you not only the gear range, but also the narrow gaps between gears that you get from a 2x setup, but with the simplicity and ease of use of a 1x. But as I'm sure you've already guessed by now, all this new technology is going to cost you. The complete Vistar PowerShift group set lists for $2,900. Up next is a new rechargeable mini air pump from Trek that they're calling the Air Rush. Now, Trek is by no means the first to release a pump like this, and we've covered others like the Psych Plus in detail in the past. But when a brand like Trek jumps on a trend, then it's usually a pretty safe bet that it's here to stay. Details on the Air Rush seem pretty promising so far, with features like preset tire pressure settings, Presta and Trader compatibility, a full color display, and the ability to inflate 2 tires up to a maximum of 120 psi in one charge. The Air Rush lists for $100. For that, you get a carrying case, Presta and Trader chuck, extension hose, and even a sports ball inflation needle. We've got an affiliate link to check it out for yourself in the description. Last but not least, we've got a new product announcement from a sector of cycling we don't talk about nearly as much as we probably should, and that's BMX. Higher Footwear is a new rider-owned shoe brand, and while I doubt many of you dabble with kids' bikes these days, by the looks of it, their new shoes could be a great option for flat pedal mountain and commuter riders as well. Higher currently offers 2 different shoes, the Crypt and the Salem. The Crypt may look like just another low-cut skate shoe, but it packs some pretty serious performance into the minimal design. It has a reinforced toe and side panel, double stitching throughout, and an outsole designed from the ground up for optimal pedal contact and impact absorption. For those looking for an even more casual look and feel, the Salem has a slip-on design with a soft vulcanized sole. Sadly, as of right now, Higher Footwear is only available in the EU, but they say that they're currently working on opening up ordering and shipping into the UK and the US as well. Moving on now to the deal of the week, where I've perused the 99 Spokes deals page and picked my favorite of the dozens of discounts we've collected for your shopping pleasure. This time around, it's a whole slew of discounted bikes from YT. They're offering 20 to 40% off most of their already value-packed models. For example, you can get the Jeffsy Core 2 CF for just $2,999. That's a full carbon frame, Fox Performance suspension, and a Shimano SLX XT drivetrain for less than $3,000. Other bikes on sale include the Izzo, Zepter, and Capra. As usual, I've left an affiliate link where you can check these bikes out for yourself in the description. And as a reminder, shopping from our affiliate links is a great way to support the 99 Spokes website, as well as this YouTube channel. Moving on now to some industry gossip. And up first, we've got yet another prototype from Trek. In case you missed it, last week we talked about a new full suspension gravel bike with a flex stay rear triangle. But it looks like gravel bikes won't be the only ones treated to the flex stay treatment. There's currently a pretty big gap between the ultra racy Trek Super Caliber and the much more trail-oriented Top Fuel. And as XCO races grow increasingly technical, many Trek athletes have been reaching for the Top Fuel rather than the brand's dedicated XC race bike. But this new prototype, which has been seen under several Trek factory riders, ditches Trek's signature ABP suspension design for a one-piece flex stay rear triangle. This design is growing increasingly popular on short travel bikes, so it's not surprising that Trek is playing around with the idea as well. No news yet on if or when this design will actually reach production and we'll be able to buy one for ourselves, but as we learn more, we'll let you know right here on the Weekly Rewind, so you might as well subscribe. News story number 2 is the merger between Industry 9, best known for their US-made super high engagement hubs, and We Are One Components, a Canadian-made carbon rim manufacturer. Now, despite I9 officially acquiring We Are One as part of this transaction, the two companies are going to continue running their own manufacturing facilities in North Carolina and British Columbia. So, what will actually look different moving forward? According to the press release put out by I9, the merger will allow for faster-paced innovation, and supposedly, they're already at work developing new products. Jacob McGaffey, VP of Industry 9, had this to say about acquiring We Are One. Quote, "We admire what they have achieved and look forward to the next chapter. Together, our commitment to craftsmanship and innovation will allow us to reach new heights in product performance and quality." There's no news yet on what any of these new products might be, but I'd imagine that being able to design the hub and the rim as one system, and of course do the manufacturing right here in North America, should allow them to do some pretty creative stuff. We're excited to see what comes out of this partnership. Last but not least, it's time to wrap things up by sharing a little something that got me stoked that I hope will do the same for you. Now, let me be clear. I'm not stoked that the longest running athlete contract in all of mountain biking has come to an end, but I did love watching the video Hans Rey made documenting his 38 years with GT. It covers everything from his early days, joining the team as a trials rider, to touring the country with a crew of legendary BMX riders, and even more or less inventing freeride mountain biking in the 90s. It's pretty rare to have a rider who transcends generations, let alone does so on the same brand. And while GT's future may be in limbo, there's no doubt that Hans No Way Ray will continue to inspire riders for years to come. And on that overly sappy note, it's probably time I wrap up this episode of the Weekly Rewind. Thanks for watching, and as always, remember that bikes are for everyone. Have fun out there.